has been gone for so very long. I anticipate his return in every gust. It's maddening. Whatever is one to do to pass the time. I've gone and made a mess. Now, where was I? Oh yes. Our unannounced visitors. Preparations must be made, for the Master will return to Karazhan soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Necroxis, and you just saw the trailer to patch 7.1 for World of Warcraft Legion Return to Karazhan. Blizzard announced this at Gamescom today, about an hour ago actually, as of this recording. And everyone I know is super excited. Howie is freaking out. I'm talking to him on Skype. I'm really excited, so let's get into it. So at Gamescom, they announced, they've been doing interviews with various streamers, popular streamers. Slootbag, I believe, is there, as well as Fat Boss TV. I think they're the two people that they're doing this, and this was actually, the trailer was dropped on Slootbag's stream, his stream. And so they announced a couple things. Before this drop, they said, the Predator number 1 is having a steady stream of content going forward. They said the team is never going to rush an expansion. It'll come out when they're done, like they always say. But they're ensuring that there's always content in the live game while working on the expansion is of utmost importance to them. They expect raid tier should last around 4 to 5 months. And then they announced 7.1 Return to Karazhan. Karazhan's coming back not as a raid, but as a large 5-man dungeon. There's going to be 9 bosses. There's no confirmation on which bosses are the same, which bosses are different. We do know there's going to be some kind of opera event again, and Morose, as you saw in the trailer, is still alive, so he'll most likely be, if not a boss, then involved in the story somehow. This is not a rehashing of Karazhan, it's a continuing story that we see, because when we see the Legion arrive in the trailer, they already got there if you did the pre-expansion event, which just went live on Tuesday. You go there with Khadgar to find a book about the Pillars of Creation, and then the Legion shows up, and you escape. So we knew that there was going to be some kind of mega dungeon, is what they were calling it, before we figured out what it actually was. Because in development, they said 7.1 will be going up on the PTR very, very soon after Legion launches. And it'll have a mega dungeon. So this mega dungeon is Karazhan. We should have expected it because, like I said, we left Karazhan with a bunch of demons infesting it. So old Karazhan will be exactly the same. This new dungeon will have a different entrance. Old Karazhan's not going away. You can still run it for all the same stuff that you want. But there's a new Karazhan now. It's 9 bosses. It's not going to be the same bosses because Karazhan Live has 12 bosses, so it can't be the same bosses revamped because there's not as many in the 5-man. So, very curious what bosses are going to stay. Like I said, Morose is a high possibility, and the opera event is confirmed to be involved somehow in some way. We don't know if it'll be the same. We don't know if it'll be a new opera event, but there will be some kind of opera event. In addition, there will be outdoor... This is not the only thing. They announced an entire new raid for 7.0. There will be 3 raids in the first raid tier of Legion. The first raid that's going to come out is going to be the Emerald Nightmare, which we all know about. And if you don't, stay tuned next week. I have a whole series coming out basically saying, what do you need to know to be prepared for Legion story-wise? So just wait for that if you're confused. But the first raid is going to be the Emerald Nightmare raid. And then, instead of the Nighthold raid being the second and final raid, there's a new raid in its place. They didn't give it a name, but it is a small raid between the Nightmare and Nighthold storylines. And what does it wrap up? Drumroll, please. This small raid will wrap up the Stormheim storyline. So, when I heard that, my mind went freaking racing. They said there's going to be outdoor content. It wraps up the Stormheim storyline. So, we're going to have Odin appearing. Helia's definitely going to be involved. We're going to have, I'm hoping, some kind of reckoning for Sylvanas. Maybe, I would love it if she died, but we all know, I especially know based on my last, my video reacting to the Broken Shore that Sylvanas' fanboys are strong. So, thanks for the views on that, by the way. One of my most popular videos. So I'm super duper excited. My mind is racing. I don't even know what could be in the Stormheim. I'm assuming Helya, if not is the final boss, is a boss. Because when you fight her in the dungeon, you definitely don't kill her. You kind of make her run away after you put up a good enough fight against her. Because she is a Titanic Watcher level villain. Like, that's how powerful she is. She's on Odin's power level, basically, at this point. Because she has been building up her own power, and she has all her own Valkyrie at this point. She's a very powerful villain. She's a raid villain at this point. So, looking forward to that. There could be hints here and there of old god stuff in this raid, because Helya is, deep in the ocean and underwater, and that's N'Zoth's jam, and, the Naga could be involved with that, and like I said, old gods and Naga go together hand in hand. So, I'm really excited for this Stormheim raid. There could be a thing where it's like the Alliance fight Sylvanas while the Horde fight Gen. That would be cool. I've always wanted a raid like that. The best that we've had closest to that is Ice Crown, the gunship battle. But when I gave my own imaginary version of the Siege of Orgrimmar, and in that imaginary version, the Horde fought against Sky Admiral Rogers on the Skyfire, while the Alliance fought, I believe it was Lorthamar, in that version of the raid. So I'm really hoping there's a cross-factional raid there, because I love that idea of each faction having to fight a faction leader on the other side. So I'm hoping that's cool. But Karazhan, I don't even know. Karazhan's even more of a mystery, because we don't know what bosses are returning. We don't know, because like I said, this is not a revamp. It's a continuing story. So I think when we go to Karazhan, we're going to find out some crazy shit. We're going to find out stuff like Karazhan's linked to a bunch of different places in the Twisting Nether. I mean, we already knew that the top of Karazhan was so infested with fell magic that it basically already was the Nether. When you fight Prince Malchezaar, you kill him basically already in the Twisting Nether. So he should be dead, by the way. I don't think he returned in Legion. I don't think he was there with all the other bosses in the Broken Shore. I think he's permanently dead, but I could be wrong. Either way, they seem to imply that Medivh's returning somehow. So, I don't know. I'm really excited. I want to get this news out as quickly as possible. So, I tacked on the trailer to the beginning of this if you somehow skipped ahead a minute and didn't see it. So, if you want to, I'll put a link to it in the comment below if you want to just watch that on its own. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you thought about all this information. I tweeted this out, and I really believe it. Legion's shaping up to be the best expansion, and it hasn't even come out yet. They have enough content for a year now. They've mapped out 3 raids, 7.1, with a giant new revamped dungeon. The base Legion content itself is amazing. And once again, these 3 raids are just in 7.0 by themselves. It's not like Nightmare and Nightholder in 7.0 and the Stormheim ones in 7.2. They're all in the first raid tier. Holy shit. So let me know what you guys thought about any of this, any theories about who could be in the Stormheim raid, or what bosses could be returning in Karazhan, which ones would you like to see returned and revamped for the new style, because most of the bosses in Karazhan wouldn't even make it past the development style now for even dungeon bosses. So I'm really excited to see what's coming out, and I want to hear what your guys' thoughts on it are. So thanks for watching. My name, as always, is Necroxis. Stay awesome. Stay tuned next week, once again, to I said there's a series coming out. I believe it's 6 videos. And once again, it's Are You Prepared for Legion is what I'm calling it. So here we go. I hope you guys enjoy that when that launches. I'm in the process of editing that right now, and I'm really planning on getting it out before Legion launches. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome. I'll see you next time, and yeah, farewell.